this is an Audi RS6 C7. I think I'll send Ben, who's our new technician, to go and look at this one.
It does appear that the whole car's been painted on both sides. I did offer him £1,000 less.
That is obscene. It's most definitely the fastest thing we've ever had on this channel, without a question. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, hope you're doing well. Some of you may know that I have a car buying website that's linked to a trade platform, a bit like Motorway, where dealers can buy stock, some of the cars that we get offered from our lovely subscribers. That is this website right here, so there's actually some really nice stuff on here currently. I've been very tempted by this Jaguar F-Type. If you are a car dealer and you aren't signed up for this already, then definitely do. It's carsbought4more.com/trade. It's completely free to sign up. In fact, I find it such a good platform that we had a car on here just today that I have bought from the platform. A, it was really close, and B, it looks like a really, really nice car. So I'm gonna show you exactly what that is. So this is an Audi RS6 C7 in Nardo Grey. Let me get the pictures up here. From someone who actually happens to be Steph's neighbor. We're in the same sort of area. And it's in really nice condition, judging by the pictures. Really nice wheels. I think it's been ceramic coated. Obviously, the fact that it's Nardo Grey is nice. I don't know whether this private number plate is going to come with the car or not, but it looks really, really nice. And the price that it was on Cars Bought for More for meant that there was actually quite a big margin in this. I think £6,000 or £7,000, which sounds ginormous, but on a performance car like this that's got an engine that's probably worth £25,000, it's quite fair. I thought, you know what, that is the direction we are going with stock here at Barrow Motors. We've got a C63, we've got a C43, we've got a CLA 45, we've got a GLA 43, lots of AMG stuff. What else have we got? We've got an Audi TTS. As one lovely subscriber who came in and viewed our stock, and we entertained him for a good 20 minutes the other day, went away and left us a review to say it's like a midlife crisis garage. But I can live with that title, and that is why we're adding the RS6 to it. I think I'll send Ben, who's our new technician, to go and look at this one, because he's come from a garage where they're used to dealing with performance stuff like this, and it's going to be a car that we really want to check over thoroughly, because it's very expensive, and any repairs that may need doing that we miss are going to be very expensive too. So let's go and find Ben. Ben, what do you know about Audi RS6 C7s?
C7s. Well, I don't claim to be an Audi specialist, but I have driven a couple before.
Yeah, I've driven a couple before, but I think you probably know a little bit more about them than I do.
Yeah.
We've got one that I've agreed to buy in Burnham. It looks really nice. It's only about 59,000 miles, Nardo Grey, one of Steph's neighbours.
The proper colour for an RS6.
Quite nice. I'm fairly confident it's going to be a nice car, but you never know. So if you can go and check it out,
yeah.
Give it a scan, test drive, whatever. I'm not confident I would necessarily know what I'm looking for. So if you can go and check it out for me.
Send me the address.
I will WhatsApp you all the information.
And I will make my way down there.
Thank you so much.
And we're off on a long adventure, just 1 mile down the road, to have a look at this Audi RS6 for Joe. Things we're going to be keeping an eye out for is like disc pads, because they are immensely expensive on the RS6s. They're like a semi-floating disc, and they are horrendously overpriced. And even the tyres, you've got to replace one tyre on that car and you're in for a couple £100. So all these things add up. So we'll get there, we'll check it out, and with a bit of luck, there's little to no prep needed, as it has been described as showroom condition.
Right, well, Ben goes off and does his checks on this car. I'm going to run mine back here using the Vehicle Score website. So I'm going to put in our registration, which is RS06 DOL. It's going to give us a score from 1 to 999 based on its MOT, mileage, age, history, all that sort of stuff. And this score's 888 out of 999, which it says is excellent and 65 above average. We can check whether it's ULEZ compliant, which it might actually be, because it's a petrol car, which would be madness. Yeah, it is. We can find out loads of things on here, including specs, so that we can see it's a 4 litre, of course, twin turbo V8, mileage 59,000, colour is grey, the weight is 2.5 tonnes, 2,580 kilos. It's a 2017, and it's got 597 brake horsepower. Doesn't tell us what the 0 to 60 is, but it tells us the top speed is 155, which will be electronically controlled. The tax for this car for 1 year is £195. It also gives us the premium car tax, which is £620, but I guess this will be past its age of having an inflated rate. So just £195. Of course, we can check out the MOT history and all that sort of stuff as well, including the mileage graph, which will show you, hopefully, that the mileage has always gone up, or at least stayed the same, not dipped down, which might indicate that it's been clocked. And of course, most importantly, if you're going to hand over your hard-earned cash, you want to do a full history check, find out whether that car's got finance against it, whether it's ever been written off, whether it's been imported or exported, and all these sorts of things. Vehicle Score's full history check is £11.95, but if you use my code SHIFTYMetal20, you will get a 20% discount. You can also do an insured check, which means if your report comes back clear, then they will give you back the money for the initial report. If you ask me, that's a complete no-brainer, so head over to vehiclescore.co.uk and make sure you check your car before you hand over your hard-earned cash.
So when you come in to view a car, when it's parked in a garage like this, with Swiss Trax flooring and LED lighting, you're probably onto a little gem of a car. So we'll check it out now, we'll have a little walk around and then we'll take it on a test drive. So things we're checking for down here is if these discs are heavily lipped and need replacing, but they've got a little bit of surface corrosion on there just because the car's been sat, but there's absolutely no lip at all, and there's absolutely loads of meat on these pads. And these diamond cut wheels are perfect. I would hedge my bets that these have been recently refurbished because they're looking really good. Falcon tyres, loads of tread, they feel like brand new. Looking for all the usual signs of any little dings and dents, maybe some paint that's been done. This Nardo grey paint, from my experience, always looks a little orange peely. So, you know, sometimes you might think, oh, that panel's been painted, but it likely hasn't. What I like to do when I'm trying to work out if a panel has been painted on is just come to these rubbers and see if there's a hard paint line behind there, and there's nothing behind it. It's not to say it hasn't been painted, because they could have taken this rubber trim off, but that's kind of a telltale sign. If you see a hard clear coat edge behind these rubbers, it's been painted. Nothing wrong with having some paint done. You just got to sometimes think, why has it been painted? Was it just a scuff? Or has the car, you know, been involved in a bit more of a serious incident? So if you check this out here, a little dry edge down here, kind of goes all the way down. That's because this is a clear coat, kind of soft edge blend in here. So this quarter panel has definitely been painted. Again, there's nothing, these cars are used. They're gonna have a bit of paint, especially if you've got an owner who cares and, you know, it's his pride and joy. He wants the paint to be perfect. So he may have had a little scuff and just wants it blown over. So what I'm seeing here, so I'm not sure if the camera will pick this up, but there's a circular kind of patch here, and you can kind of see it better coming. Toby, do you want to go around that way and shine down this way? Can you see that at all? So just here, there's a run that's been flatted back, and you can just see the edge of it. So we'll jump in now, play around with all the little gizmos inside, just make sure, you know, it's all working, usual stuff, windows, radiator, is the aircon cold, that sort of thing. But I believe this car has a performance pack, and it also has the valved exhaust as well, which are probably the two big options you want. I don't know the exact figures on a performance pack. I think it takes you just over 600 horsepower, but one of these in sport with a valved exhaust is probably one of the best sounding factory cars out there. They're awesome. It does look like we have a CarLink kit in here as well, so this converts this radio into Apple CarPlay, which is a nice touch. That's a big engine crammed into such a little space, isn't it? Looks like the rear timing covers have been off for whatever reason. Could have had an oil leak or something like that, or maybe one of the solenoids on the back of the camshaft needed replacing. So the more I get into this, I think the whole car has been blown over. Again, I'm not going to speculate why that is. Sometimes it is totally harmless. Could have had 2 key scratches down both sides. But again, this is another telltale sign. That dry clear coat edge we saw in the rear doors, we can also see on this front wing here as well. It's like this. This is weird, isn't it? It's just like a dry spot in the clear coat. Can you see that square there? Yeah, so that's just like where it's been sprayed on, and they sprayed it on it's called, I don't know, I'm not a painter. It's like dry, the lacquer. It hasn't been put on thick enough or evenly enough, but that could be, it could have been a little bit of dirt in the paint, and they've just flattened that area back and not polished it back up. I don't know. So I just sent a couple pictures over to Joe just so he can make his, you know, good judgment call with the information I've given him. It does appear that the whole car's been painted on both sides, and it's been done to an alright standard, but you can just find a little blemish in each panel, and you know, one panel here, one panel there, you don't care, but maybe, you know, altogether they all add up. Okay, so I've just been in and had a chat with the customer, just to talk about the price of the car, because I don't want to go waste his time and my time taking the car on this test drive if we're not going to see eye to eye on price. Might have been a bit premature, you know, maybe there was something mechanically that we might recognise on this test drive, but this paint is salvageable. The few little imperfections I've seen, I'm sure we can wet sand and polish, and we can really bring this car back to life. And from what I've seen, I don't think there's been any accident damage or anything like that. It's just had a bit of a blowover, and we can just do that last little 20% just to make it a really nice paint job. So with that being said, I did offer him £1,000 less than our original asking price, of which he seems to be okay with. Not ideal, he didn't know his car had been painted, but I got him in, I showed him around it, and I showed him there I'm not there just to chip him down. There's reasons why, you know, we've started negotiating the price, and he seemed happy with that. So we're out on the test drive now. We'll try and get it up to speed, get it going through the gears a little bit. Again, check the more functionality of all the bits and bobs in the car, and if all is good, we'll get the car back, we'll get the man paid, and we'll take the car back to Barrow Motors. So far, everything looks really good. I've had the gearbox in, you know, comfort and sport. It's selecting gears as it should. Can't hear any rogue rattles or anything. So we'll head back, hold out his hand, shake his hand on the price we've agreed, but I think we're going to have it.
Right, so here is our new to us 2017 Audi RS6 competition. No, not competition. Performance. I was thinking it's a BMW for a minute. It actually looks absolutely gorgeous. Now Ben did negotiate a bit of money off because there are a few little paint defects that will probably speak to James at J Repairs about getting kind of flatted back and polished up and sorted out, but I mean, on the whole, it looks absolutely incredible. But this being what it is, an RS car, the type of customer who's going to come to buy it is going to be quite discerning, and they are going to pick at the smallest fault, so we kind of want to make sure they're paying the right price. We gave what I think is a really, really fair price for this car, left us enough margin in it, and yeah, the car looks really, really good. I'm actually quite looking forward to driving it. I did say earlier when I was speaking to Ben that I have driven a couple of these in my time, but I've never really driven one in earnest because they weren't mine. This is the first Audi RS6 that I've ever bought, and I can really get my foot down on it and experience the full power. So I think we should get on the road, give it a little drive. So, I don't know whether it's part of the performance pack, but we have got carbon fibre everywhere. We've got a heated steering wheel. For the first time I've had that in an Audi, I think. Right, so currently we're in comfort. I wonder how much difference it makes to the noise if we put it in dynamic. Wow, that is one thing I absolutely love about Audi RS cars, is they are pretty visceral. They do a very good job of making them rowdy and raucous. Ben thinks I'm going to fall in love with this and I'm going to want it as my own car. I don't know, I really like them, but the kind of non-car nerd part of me is like, it just looks like a big Audi A6. The other part of me thinks it's such an incredible, capable car, but I don't know. Maybe the sort of tart in me thinks like a coupe or a sports car looks better, but as I say, I haven't really experienced one to full effect before. That is obscene. I don't even know what horsepower these are, actually. That's embarrassing. Again, I don't really know the facts or figures. it makes good noises because it has got the performance exhaust. Surprisingly, for a car that's this big and no doubt this heavy, it's nice and light and it's most definitely the fastest thing we've ever had on this channel, I think, without a question. Short of the Model 3 Performance, which had ridiculous acceleration and made me feel like my stomach was going to come out of my mouth. Oh my god. This thing doesn't have quite the same amount of torque. Well, and then again, I don't know. What an obscene car. I do like it. I do like it. What's terrifying is you get your foot down and each time you change the gears, you almost don't feel the gears. It just keeps going, going, going. And that torque never seems to drop off. The only problem I have with cars like this is I'm not much of a speed demon on the roads. I love going fast on a track, but on the roads I don't really want to be going around breaking the law everywhere, and this sort of car gets you there so quick. You're hanging on there all right, Toby? Yeah. It kind of funds over pretty quick, isn't it? So what's really mad is how comfortable I am while I'm doing all this. I expected this to be a lot firmer. Maybe it's because of the other C7 and C8 that I've driven belong to Levi, my tattoo artist, and he loves everything lowered, and I think it even sounds even better with the window closed, you know. He likes everything modified, so it's really like firm. This would be like joyous to do a long journey in as well, other than when you have to fill it up with fuel properly, but it's really nice and comfortable. Let's put it back into comfort. Take it out of manual. Just cruise back quietly. That's another incredible feature, is how quiet it is as well. So yeah, on the whole, I'm very happy with this, and considering it's the first RS6 that I've bought, I'm glad that we've bought a really nice example. Only 59,000 miles, got loads of service history, 2 keys, really nice paint colour. It's got the performance pack. So if we buy more in the future, which hopefully we will, we'll have a benchmark for what they should be like, because otherwise I wouldn't really know. So that is it, I guess. I might have to borrow this a couple of nights to go home. We're going to need to do a bit of prep because it has got 3D, 4D number plates, which I'm not a massive fan of. It's got a kind of Audi sticker. Oh, I see what it is. It's the Audi badges, but it says dope. We're not having that. That's the opposite of dope, in my opinion. But otherwise, car's absolutely incredible. I even like the stitched floor mat. Got Bose sound system as well. So what we need to do now really is hand this back to Ben, get him to get it down the farm. He can start the prep process, sort the number plates out, and all that stuff. Get it photographed, and maybe we should end on some very nice cinematics of this car. So that would be next. But don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, if you're selling your car and you want us to buy it like this, then head to carsboughtformore.com. And if you're a trader and you might want to buy cars like this, then it's carsboughtformore.com/trade. And don't forget to check out our latest competitions on feelgoodcompetitions.com. You can win a couple of, well, there's 3 Porsches available at the moment for as little as £2 to enter, and it helps us raise loads of money. So far in 2025, we've raised over £16,000 for Jack's neuroblastoma journey. In fact, we've almost helped them reach their £300,000 target, and we will be moving on to other charitable causes next. So thank you everyone who's got involved, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.